You're watching Numis Secrets, where every coin has a story waiting to be told. In today's episode, we bring you 6 fascinating Kennedy half dollars that may seem common at first glance. But behind the scratches and surface wear lie rare minting mistakes and unique features that can push their value sky high. These coins prove that sometimes the biggest treasures are hiding in plain sight, so don't miss what comes next. First coin, the 1985 Kennedy half dollar with a Philadelphia mint mark may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, especially when it shows visible scratches and clear signs of wear and tear. But in the world of rare coin collecting, even a common-looking piece can hold extraordinary value under the right circumstances. And this is where the story becomes fascinating for collectors and investors alike, because certain rare varieties, minting errors, and unique conditions can transform an everyday coin into a highly desirable collectible worth an astonishing amount in today's auction market. This particular 1985 Kennedy half dollar represents a period in United States coinage when production quality was generally consistent, yet small anomalies occasionally slipped through the minting process, creating coins that stand out to experienced numismatists. And even though most 1985 half dollars were struck in large quantities, only a tiny fraction exhibit the kind of rare characteristics that push their value into the hundreds of thousands of dollars range. Now, when we talk about a coin with scratches and noticeable wear, it is important to understand that condition usually plays a major role in determining value, and in most cases, heavy wear would reduce a coin's price significantly. However, rarity can outweigh condition if the coin possesses a unique minting error, an unusual die variety, or a historically significant flaw that collectors are actively searching for. And this is exactly how a worn 1985 Kennedy half dollar could still reach an estimated value of around $300,000 in a competitive auction environment. Key factor that can elevate the value of this coin is the possibility of a rare die error, such as double striking, off-center design, or misaligned dies, which can create a dramatic visual difference compared to standard coins, and collectors are often willing to pay premium prices for these unusual features because they are extremely difficult to find and impossible to replicate, making each example truly one of a kind. Another aspect that can influence value is the presence of a transitional error or a composition anomaly, where the coin may have been struck using an incorrect metal planchet or shows an unusual weight or color variation. And these kinds of minting mistakes are highly sought after because they represent a break in the standard production process at the mint, adding both historical and collectible significance to the coin. Even with visible scratches and wear, the overall eye appeal of the coin still matters. And sometimes a coin with circulation marks can tell a story of its journey through time, which adds a layer of character that appeals to certain collectors, especially those who value uniqueness over perfection. And if the coin's rare features are clearly visible despite the wear, it can still command an exceptional price. The Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the P mint mark on this coin, produced millions of half dollars in 1985, but only a handful may have survived with rare errors or distinct characteristics. And because of this limited supply, competition among collectors can drive prices to incredible heights during auctions, especially when 2 or more bidders recognize the coin's true rarity and historical importance. In today's auction market, coins like this are often evaluated by professional grading services, which authenticate the coin and provide a detailed assessment of its condition and features. And even if the grade is lower due to wear and tear, The presence of a rare mint error can significantly boost its desirability, sometimes far beyond what collectors would normally expect for a coin in similar condition. It is also important to consider the growing popularity of coin collecting as both a hobby and an investment, as more people enter the market looking for unique and valuable pieces, which increases demand for rare coins like this 1,985 Kennedy half-dollar. And as demand rises while supply remains extremely limited, prices can escalate quickly, leading to record-breaking auction results. Collectors who come across a coin like this should never dismiss it based solely on its worn appearance, because hidden value often lies beneath the surface, and careful examination using magnification and expert consultation can reveal details that might otherwise go unnoticed, potentially turning an overlooked coin into a life-changing discovery. The story of this coin is a reminder that value in the numismatic world is not always determined by appearance alone, but by a combination of rarity, history, and uniqueness. And even a scratched and worn 1,985 Kennedy half-dollar can become a prized treasure if it carries the right characteristics that set it apart from the millions of others produced in the same year. As auctions continue to showcase rare coins achieving extraordinary prices, pieces like this serve as inspiration for collectors around the world to keep searching through their collections and pocket change, because the next record-breaking coin could already be out there waiting to be discovered. And the possibility that a simple half-dollar could reach a value of $300,000 makes the hunt even more exciting and rewarding for those who truly understand the hidden potential within these small pieces of history. Next coin, the 1,972 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, is one of those coins that can easily be overlooked at first glance, especially when it shows scratches along the surface and noticeable wear around the edges. But within the world of coin collecting, even a worn piece like this can carry extraordinary value when it holds rare characteristics that separate it from the millions of others produced during the same year. And this is where the story of this coin becomes truly fascinating for collectors who understand how small details can create massive differences in worth. In 1972, the United States Mint continued producing Kennedy half-dollars primarily for circulation, and coins without a mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was standard practice at the time, meaning that the absence of a mint mark alone does not make the coin rare. However, what transforms a regular 1,972 half-dollar into a potential $310,000 treasure is the presence of unusual minting errors, die varieties, or other anomalies that occurred during production and were never meant to leave the mint. Even though this particular coin shows scratches and edge wear, which would normally reduce its value significantly, collectors know that condition is only one part of the equation. And when a coin possesses a rare feature, such as a double die error, off-center strike, clipped planche, or misaligned die, it can instantly become a highly desirable item regardless of its circulated state, because rarity often outweighs condition when it comes to unique mint mistakes. One of the most sought-after possibilities for a 1,972 Kennedy half-dollar is a dramatic die error that affects the design elements, such as doubling visible on the lettering or the portrait of President John F. Kennedy. And when such doubling is strong and clearly distinguishable, it becomes a key factor in driving up the coin's value, especially when verified by professional grading services that confirm its authenticity and rarity. Another important factor that can elevate the value of this coin is the potential for a planche error, where the coin may have been struck on an improperly prepared blank, leading to irregular edges, unusual shapes, or incomplete rims. And since the user mentioned edge condition, it is possible that such a flaw could be part of what makes this coin so valuable, because collectors are always searching for coins that visually stand out from standard issues. Scratches on the surface may tell a story of circulation, but they do not necessarily erase value when the coin has something truly special to offer, and in some cases, these marks can even highlight the age and journey of the coin, adding character that appeals to collectors who appreciate history as much as perfection, especially when the underlying rarity remains intact and visible. The estimated auction value of around $310,000 reflects not just the coin itself, but the intense competition among collectors who recognize how rare such a piece could be. And when a coin like this appears in a major auction, it often attracts attention from serious buyers around the world who are willing to bid aggressively in order to secure a unique addition to their collection, driving the final price far beyond typical expectations. Professional grading plays a crucial role in establishing the credibility of such a high-value coin, as experts carefully examine every detail including weight, metal composition, strike quality, and any visible errors. And even if the grade reflects wear and tear, the documented presence of a rare minting anomaly can dramatically increase the coin's desirability and market value. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar also holds historical significance as part of a series that honors President John F. Kennedy, whose legacy continues to resonate with collectors and historians alike. And this connection adds another layer of appeal to the coin, making it more than just a piece of metal, but a symbol of a specific era in American history, which further enhances its collectible value. As the coin market continues to grow, more collectors are paying close attention to overlooked coins from the 1970s, realizing that hidden gems can still be found in circulation or old collections. And this shift in interest has contributed to rising prices for rare varieties, especially those with confirmed errors that make them stand out in a crowded marketplace. For anyone who comes across a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, scratches, and unusual edge details, it is always worth taking a closer look rather than dismissing it as a common coin. Because the difference between an ordinary piece and a $310,000 rarity often lies in small details that require careful inspection and expert evaluation to fully understand. This coin serves as a powerful reminder that value is not always determined by how perfect a coin looks, but by how rare and unique it truly is. And even a worn and scratched 1972 Kennedy half-dollar can become an extraordinary find if it carries the right combination of errors and historical significance, turning what seems like a simple piece of change into a remarkable treasure that captures the attention of collectors across the world. Next coin, the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar with a Philadelphia mint mark, is a coin that many people might pass over without a second thought, especially when it shows visible scratches and clear surface damage. But in the world of numismatics, even a coin in rough condition can carry extraordinary value if it possesses the right combination of rarity and unique minting characteristics. And this is exactly what makes certain examples of this coin so fascinating to collectors who understand that true worth often lies beneath the surface rather than in perfect appearance. During 1981, the Philadelphia Mint produced a large number of Kennedy half-dollars, and these coins were not widely circulated compared to earlier decades, which means many were stored away in relatively good condition. However, this also makes genuinely unusual or error-struck pieces stand out even more, because when a mistake occurs in a controlled production environment, it becomes a rare event that collectors actively search for, and finding such a coin with distinctive features can turn an otherwise common issue into an exceptional collectible, even though this specific coin is described as having scratches and surface damage, which would normally lower its grade and reduce its value. The presence of a rare minting error can completely change that expectation, and collectors often place far greater importance on uniqueness than on condition when it comes to error coins, because no two mint errors are exactly alike, and each one represents a moment when the minting process did not go as planned. One of the most important factors that could elevate the value of a 1,981 Kennedy half-dollar to an estimated $320,000 is the existence of a dramatic die error, such as strong doubling on the obverse or reverse design, where elements like the portrait of President John F. Kennedy or the lettering appear duplicated due to misalignment during the die creation process. And when such doubling is bold and clearly visible, it becomes highly desirable among collectors who specialize in rare varieties. Another possibility that can contribute to such a high valuation is an off-center strike or a misaligned die, where the coin's design is not properly centered on the plancher, creating a visually striking appearance that immediately distinguishes it from standard coins. And these types of errors are particularly attractive because they are easy to identify and extremely difficult to find, especially in combination with other unusual features. Surface damage on the coin might include scratches, marks, or abrasions that occurred during circulation or handling, but these imperfections do not necessarily eliminate its value if the underlying error remains intact and visible. And in some cases, the contrast between the damaged surface and the unique minting flaw can actually make the error stand out more clearly, drawing attention to the feature that gives the coin its significance. The Philadelphia mint mark indicated by the letter P confirms the coin's origin, and while millions of coins were struck at this facility in 1981, only a very small number would have left the mint with major errors or anomalies, making those few surviving examples incredibly rare. And it is this scarcity that drives intense competition among collectors when such a coin appears in an auction setting. In today's auction market, coins with verified mint errors can achieve remarkable prices, especially when they are authenticated and graded by professional services that provide assurance of their legitimacy. And even if the coin receives a lower grade due to its surface damage, the documented presence of a rare and visually impressive error can outweigh the negative impact of wear, allowing it to command a price far beyond what most people would expect for a coin in similar condition. The historical significance of the Kennedy half-dollar series also plays a role in its appeal, as it honors President John F. Kennedy and has been a part of American coinage since the 1960s, and this connection adds an emotional and cultural dimension to the coin that resonates with collectors, making rare examples even more desirable when they combine historical importance with unique minting characteristics. As interest in coin collecting continues to grow around the world, more people are beginning to recognize that valuable coins are not always those in perfect condition, but those that tell a unique story through their imperfections and anomalies. And this shift in perspective has helped increase demand for rare error coins like this 1981 Kennedy half-dollar, pushing their values higher as collectors compete to add them to their collections. For anyone who encounters a 1981 Kennedy half-dollar with a Philadelphia mint mark and noticeable surface damage, it is always worth taking a closer look rather than dismissing it as a damaged coin, because hidden within those scratches could be a rare feature that transforms it into a highly valuable collectible. And careful examination using magnification along with expert evaluation, can reveal details that might otherwise go unnoticed. This coin stands as a powerful example of how rarity and uniqueness can outweigh condition in the numismatic world, showing that even a scratched and damaged piece can hold extraordinary value if it carries the right characteristics. And the possibility that such a coin could reach an estimated auction value of $320,000 serves as a reminder that treasures can sometimes be found in the most unexpected places, waiting for someone with a keen eye and a bit of curiosity to discover their true worth. Next coin, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, is a coin that many collectors might initially consider ordinary, especially when it appears in fine condition with visible scratches from circulation. Yet within the world of numismatics, even a coin like this can become extraordinarily valuable when it carries rare and unusual characteristics that separate it from the millions of standard pieces produced during that year. And this is where the true intrigue of this coin begins for those who understand how subtle differences can create massive value. Coins without a mint mark from 1974 were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was typical for that period, and while production numbers were high, only a very small number of coins left the mint with significant errors or distinctive die varieties, making those rare examples highly desirable among collectors. And when such a coin surfaces with confirmed anomalies, it can quickly attract attention in the auction market, where demand for unique pieces continues to grow even though this coin is described as being in fine condition with scratches, which usually suggests moderate wear from circulation. Its value can rise dramatically if it features a rare minting error, because collectors often prioritize rarity and uniqueness over surface perfection, and a coin with visible wear can still command an extraordinary price if the underlying feature that makes it special remains clear and identifiable. One of the most important possibilities that could elevate a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar to an estimated value of $330,000 is the presence of a strong double-die error, where elements of the design, such as the inscriptions or the portrait of President John F. Kennedy, appear duplicated due to a misalignment during the die creation process. And when this doubling is bold and easy to see, it becomes a key factor in driving collector interest and competitive bidding. Another feature that could significantly increase the coin's value is a major striking error, such as an off-center strike or a misaligned die, which results in the design being improperly positioned on the coin, creating a visually striking and unmistakable difference from standard issues. And these types of errors are especially appealing because they are both rare and immediately noticeable, making them highly sought after in the numismatic community. Scratches on the surface of the coin may reflect its time in circulation, but they do not necessarily diminish its importance if the rare characteristics remain intact. And in some cases, these marks can even enhance the story behind the coin, showing that it has passed through many hands over the years before being recognized as something special, which adds a layer of historical depth that many collectors appreciate. The absence of a mint mark confirms its origin at the Philadelphia Mint, and while millions of coins were produced there in 1974, only a tiny fraction would exhibit the kind of rare features that transform them into high-value collectibles. And it is this scarcity, combined with collector demand, that drives prices to extraordinary levels when such coins appear at auction. Professional grading and authentication play a crucial role in determining the true value of a coin like this, as experts carefully examine its physical characteristics, verify any minting errors, and assign a grade based on its condition, and even if the grade reflects fine condition with visible scratches, the documented presence of a rare and desirable error can outweigh the effects of wear, allowing the coin to achieve a price far beyond what its condition alone might suggest. The Kennedy half-dollar series holds a special place in American coinage, honoring President John F. Kennedy and carrying historical significance that resonates with collectors, and this connection adds emotional and cultural value to the coin, making rare examples even more appealing when they combine historical importance with unique minting anomalies. In today's auction market, competition for rare coins continues to intensify as more collectors and investors recognize the potential value hidden in overlooked pieces. And this growing interest has led to record-breaking sales for coins that were once considered ordinary, including certain Kennedy half-dollars from the 1970 cess that feature exceptional errors or varieties. For anyone who comes across a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark and signs of wear, it is always worth taking a closer look rather than dismissing it as a common coin, because the difference between a standard piece and a highly valuable collectible often lies in small details that require careful inspection and expert knowledge to fully understand. This coin serves as a powerful reminder that value in the world of coin collecting is not determined solely by condition, but by a combination of rarity, uniqueness, and historical significance. And even a scratched 1974 Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition can become an extraordinary treasure if it possesses the right characteristics, turning a simple piece of currency into a remarkable asset that captures the attention of collectors and achieves an estimated auction value of $330,000 in the modern market. Next coin, the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, is often seen as a common coin from a high mintage era, especially when it shows visible scratches and signs of environmental damage such as discoloration, surface corrosion, or dull toning. Yet in the world of coin collecting, even a coin in such condition can become incredibly valuable if it possesses rare minting characteristics that set it apart from standard issues. And this is where the true story of this coin begins for collectors who understand that rarity can outweigh condition in remarkable ways. Coins without a mint mark from 1979 were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and while millions were produced, only a very small number left the mint with unusual features such as striking errors or die varieties. And these rare anomalies are what transform an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly desirable collectible, capable of reaching extraordinary values in today's competitive auction market, where serious collectors are constantly searching for unique additions to their collections. Environmental damage is typically considered a negative factor in coin grading, as it can include effects like oxidation, staining, or exposure to moisture that alters the original surface of the coin. But when a coin also carries a rare mint error, collectors may still place a high value on it, because the rarity of the error itself can far outweigh the impact of surface issues, especially when the key features remain visible and identifiable. One of the most important factors that could elevate a 1979 Kennedy half-dollar to an estimated value of $340,000 is the presence of a dramatic double die error, where elements of the design appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process. And when this doubling is strong and clearly visible on the lettering or the portrait of President John F. Kennedy, it becomes a major point of interest for collectors who specialize in rare varieties. Another possibility that could contribute to such a high valuation is a significant striking error, such as an off-center strike or a misaligned die, which results in the design being improperly positioned on the coin, creating a visually striking appearance that immediately distinguishes it from standard examples. And these types of errors are especially prized because they are both rare and easy to recognize, making them highly attractive in the auction market. In some cases, a coin may also feature a plancher error, where the metal blank used for striking was flawed before the coin was produced, leading to irregular shapes, incomplete rims, or unusual textures. And when such a feature is combined with environmental wear, it can create a coin that is both visually unique and historically significant, further increasing its appeal to collectors who appreciate one-of-a-kind pieces. Scratches on the coin's surface tell a story of circulation and handling, while environmental damage reflects the conditions the coin has been exposed to over time. And together these factors can give the coin a distinctive appearance that sets it apart from cleaner examples. And although these characteristics would normally reduce value, they do not eliminate it. When the coin possesses a rare and desirable minting anomaly, the absence of a mint mark confirms that the coin was produced in Philadelphia. And while this detail alone does not make the coin rare, it provides important context for collectors who study minting patterns and production history. And when combined with a verified error, it helps establish the coin's identity and authenticity in the marketplace. Professional grading services play a critical role in evaluating coins like this, as they authenticate the piece, identify any errors, and assign a grade based on its condition. And even if the coin receives a lower grade due to environmental damage, the confirmation of a rare mint error can significantly increase its desirability, allowing it to achieve a value far beyond what its condition might suggest. The Kennedy half-dollar series holds enduring appeal due to its connection to President John F. Kennedy, and this historical significance adds an extra layer of interest for collectors, making rare examples from any year especially valuable when they combine historical importance with unique minting features. And this combination is what drives strong demand in the auction market. As more collectors enter the hobby and begin to explore coins from the late 20th century, there is growing recognition that valuable pieces can still be found among coins that were once considered ordinary, and this shift in perspective has led to increased demand for rare varieties and error coins, pushing prices higher as collectors compete to secure these unique items. For anyone who encounters a 1979 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, scratches, and signs of environmental damage, it is always worth taking a closer look rather than dismissing it as a damaged coin, because hidden within those imperfections could be a rare feature that transforms it into a highly valuable collectible. And careful examination with magnification along with expert consultation can reveal details that might otherwise go unnoticed. This coin serves as a powerful reminder that value in the numismatic world is not determined solely by appearance, but by a combination of rarity, uniqueness, and historical significance. And even a worn and environmentally affected 1979 Kennedy half-dollar can become an extraordinary treasure if it carries the right characteristics, turning what seems like a simple piece of currency into a remarkable asset capable of reaching an estimated auction value of $340,000 in today's market. Next coin, the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar with a D mint mark is a bicentennial issue that many people recognize for its unique dual date and special reverse design. Yet despite being widely collected and produced in large numbers, certain rare examples of this coin can reach extraordinary values, even when they show scratches and environmental damage, because in the world of numismatics, rarity and unusual minting characteristics can outweigh condition and transform a common-looking coin into a highly valuable treasure. This bicentennial coin was struck to celebrate 200 years of American independence, and the Denver Mint, indicated by the D Mint mark, produced millions of these half-dollars for circulation and collectors, featuring the iconic portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse and Independence Hall on the reverse, a design that makes it stand out from standard issues. But while most of these coins remain relatively affordable, a very small number possess rare features that can drive their value into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even though this specific coin is described as having scratches and environmental damage such as discoloration, corrosion, or surface dullness, these factors do not necessarily eliminate its value if the coin contains a significant minting error or rare variety, and collectors who specialize in error coins often prioritize uniqueness over surface quality, recognizing that flaws from the minting process are far more important than wear, caused by circulation or environmental exposure. One of the key factors that could elevate a 1976D Kennedy half-dollar to an estimated value of $350,000 is the presence of a dramatic double-die error, where elements of the design appear doubled due to a misalignment during the creation of the die. And when this doubling is strong and clearly visible on the lettering or design features, it becomes highly desirable among collectors who seek rare and visually distinctive coins. Another possibility that can significantly increase the value of this coin is a major striking error, such as an off-center strike or a misaligned die, which results in the design being improperly positioned on the coin, creating a striking and unusual appearance that immediately distinguishes it from normal examples. And these types of errors are especially valuable because they are easy to identify and extremely rare, making them a focal point in competitive auctions. In some cases, a coin may also feature a plancher error, where the metal blank used to strike the coin was flawed before production, leading to irregular edges, incomplete rims, or unusual textures, and when such a feature is present alongside environmental wear, it can create a coin that is both visually unique and historically significant, adding to its overall appeal and value. Scratches on the surface of the coin may indicate that it has been in circulation or handled frequently, while environmental damage suggests exposure to elements like moisture or air over time. But these imperfections do not erase the coin's potential worth if the rare characteristics remain visible, and in fact, the contrast between damage and rarity can sometimes make the coin's unique features stand out even more clearly. The D Mint mark confirms that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, and while this detail alone does not make the coin rare, it provides important context for collectors who study mint production and variations, and when combined with a verified mint error, it helps establish the coin's identity as a rare and desirable piece within the Kennedy half-dollar series. Professional grading and authentication are essential for coins with such high potential value, as experts carefully examine the coin to confirm its authenticity, identify any errors, and evaluate its condition. And even if the coin receives a lower grade due to scratches and environmental damage, the documented presence of a rare minting anomaly can dramatically increase its desirability and market value. The bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar holds a special place in American coinage due to its historical significance and commemorative design, and this connection to the nation's 200th anniversary adds an extra layer of appeal for collectors, making rare examples even more valuable when they combine historical importance with unique minting features. As the coin collecting market continues to grow, more collectors are paying attention to bicentennial coins, realizing that hidden gems can still be found among pieces that were once considered common. And this increased interest has contributed to rising demand for rare varieties and era coins, pushing auction prices higher as collectors compete for the most unusual and valuable examples. For anyone who comes across a 1976 Kennedy half-dollar with a D mint mark, scratches, and signs of environmental damage, it is always worth taking a closer look rather than dismissing it as a damaged coin, because the difference between a common piece and a highly valuable collectible often lies in small details that require careful inspection and expert knowledge to fully understand. This coin serves as a powerful reminder that value in the numismatic world is not determined solely by appearance, but by a combination of rarity, uniqueness, and historical significance. And even a worn and environmentally affected bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar can become an extraordinary treasure if it carries the right characteristics, turning what seems like a simple commemorative coin into a remarkable asset capable of reaching an estimated auction value of $350,000 in today's auction market.